Hey guys, Marcinkin here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so, as Golden Week seems to be drawing to somewhat of a disappointing close, right? With no content coming for the rest of the week outside of, we have a new Super Battle Road stage that was in the data download, but that does not drop until the 26th, which of course, Monday morning for me. I guess it's Sunday evening if you're in the US, so I guess technically that does count as this week if you are in the US time zone. But yeah, very quiet week for the end of Golden Week, which is very disappointing because we should be expecting news on the next Dokkan Fest sometime after that, because obviously based on last year, the Dokkan Fest that released after Golden Week was on the 30th of May. The 30th of May this year falls on a Friday, and judging by everything that Dokkan has been doing recently in the last few months, content, especially when it comes to new characters and new celebrations starting, usually seems to be on a Tuesday or Thursday. We are also going to be getting maintenance from the Thursday, UK time anyway, 3 AM until 8:30. So there's a 5.5 hour maintenance on the 29th. Again, if you're in the US, that will be starting on the evening of the Monday. So interestingly, well, actually 29th of the 5th. Yeah, it's Thursday. Sorry, yeah, it'd be Wednesday evening. I'm getting confused then. I looked back at the Thursday and thought it said Tuesday. Yeah, so this will be Wednesday night. That actually does make it seem less likely that the celebration will start on the Thursday morning then, because banners nowadays are coming out at 5 o'clock UK time. There's not going to be maintenance until 3.5 hours after that, and then the celebration suddenly starts. So actually, even though that's not a regular thing that we see now, Friday the 30th could be when the next Dokkan Fest comes out, because that will be the day after this maintenance, which assumingly will include the data download, which means as early as Tuesday or Wednesday next week we could see the new Dokkan Fest being revealed on Twitter. Obviously it could be leaked before then, who knows. But yeah, the purpose of today's video is to look forward past the end of this kind of, I will say for me anyway, overall disappointing month, and look forward to something in the future. And I wanted to highlight here at the beginning, we do now have, as of well, technically the release day is today, right? The Dragon Ball Daima pack, is it like pack 2? Out for Xenoverse 2, of all things, right? Xenoverse 2, the Dragon Ball game that will outlive every other Dragon Ball game, just you watch, is getting Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. And so, to me, it seems very, very likely that Dokkan has got to be getting these guys soon, right? Because this kind of feels like a repeat of the Beast Gohan situation all over again, where like every other game is getting all of this big stuff, and then Dokkan is like the last one for some reason. Considering Dokkan is the game like that makes the most money, it makes more money than Legends. I assume it makes more money than Xenoverse, because whilst there are purchasable things in Xenoverse and there is a purchasable currency, it doesn't compare to like the amount of stones you would have to buy, like, and that big whale do buy. So Dokkan is like the most profitable gacha game, or most profitable game, Dragon Ball game, for the Dragon Ball IP. So you wonder why they wait so long when it comes to this kind of thing. The Beast Gohan thing was absolutely crazy, but when it comes to Daima, we've been getting a few things here and there, but other games have been getting stuff, you know, for a lot longer. And one of the things that we wanted to look at here is obviously this big thing, the schedule update that we saw from the producer letter, is with the shift in the schedule for this coming year. We can see, and I guess all coming years, right, in terms of the big celebrations, the 10th year specifically, like from the 10th anniversary to the 11th anniversary, they've already said is going to have a bunch of bonus stuff that won't necessarily be there in the following years. But this change to like the schedule of when certain campaigns are going to be, this should remain the same like in the years to come, right? So you can see we're at the Golden Week campaign. In July to August time, we would normally have got the Tanabata on JP, and then obviously Global would have the anniversary. But now that we're synced, both versions had the anniversary at the beginning of the year. So we are now going to get the Global Dokkan Campaign in July, which has been advertised, or at least mentioned in this producer letter, that this is going to be an anniversary level event. So essentially it's doing what a lot of other gacha games actually do, where they have like a half-year anniversary. So every 6 months there's like a big anniversary level celebration, and that seems like that is what this is going to be. Now, a lot of people really wanted to see Daima for Golden Week because Big Jewel Dokkan Fest, like, you know, what we would normally consider one of the bigger celebrations of the year outside of the anniversary and the worldwide. And of course, we got Hit versus Goku and then more Tournament of Power-y type stuff in part 2. So it does seem to me very likely that the reason why we didn't get Daima as part of this Jewel Dokkan Fest, and maybe even the reason why this Golden Week has felt a little bit undertuned and you know, not quite enough love and attention went into this celebration, is because they could be building up to the global Dokkan campaign and having Daima be the big release there. Because I think for a lot of people, I know there are some people that don't care that much about Daima, but being the latest official like Dragon Ball anime project, you know, the last official project that Toriyama was involved in, like it's big hype for a lot of people, right? And the final episode of the dubbed version just came out. Now the DLC's coming out for Xenoverse 2. I think it makes a lot of sense for the global Dokkan campaign to be themed around Daima, or at least include these like big Daima characters, right? Like we've seen in the past, an anniversary celebration doesn't have to be specifically one saga, right? It can be 2 or 3 put together under a certain kind of theme. But I think the global Dokkan campaign is very much where we could see these big releases for some Daima units. Because if we take a look over here, we got like the Legends wiki with Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Obviously came out on Legends a little while ago. They skipped mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku and jumped straight to the adult one, which I think is probably the right idea in terms of hype and in terms of what people most want to see in the game. I know some people, even the people who are happy that like Super Saiyan 4 came back for Daima, are not huge fans of like the mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So this guy and of course the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta are the ones that I could see being the big headliner units. Now obviously with it being an anniversary type celebration or anniversary level celebration, we would probably expect there to be the Carnival X Dokkan format. So we have like a Dokkan Fest LR with a banner unit and then a Carnival LR. I don't think we'll see a repeat of like the 10th anniversary banners where the Carnival banner has 2 LRs, especially if it's Daima, because there's not a lot of characters to draw from there. But I could easily see that being the case here, with 2 of the big headlining units being these 2 here. And then of course Goma will be one of the units, right? The extreme, the main bad guy of Daima. Whether he transforms or just starts off straight away in the big giant buff like third eye form remains to be seen. The only problem with having a full Daima like themed banner set up like that is that who would be the 4th unit that would be big enough to be like a Carnival LR. Legends does have individual units for Majin Ku and Majin Du. We still don't have them in Dokkan, but I guess they could do an LR, kind of like the Gammas being the LR for the anniversary, 9th anniversary part 2, like Carnival. We could see like a Carnival LR Majin Ku and Majin Du maybe, or even like reversible exchange. Because I think some of the other characters, like we've already got a Glorio, and he doesn't have any other forms. He doesn't really do anything in the series, like fight-wise, after that little sparring match with Goku. So realistically, everything that Glorio does in Dokkan is kind of in Daima is already represented by his card that's already in Dokkan. So him getting a new card I think is unlikely for a long time, because until the current one becomes outdated and they start doing what Dokkan always does and we get like the reruns of certain characters. But yeah, not only has they used all that stuff, I can't see them giving him an LR, which means he'd have to have at least 2 animations, right? 2 different supers, and then ideally we would want him to have like other things as well, like an active skill or an intro or something, right? So unlikely that we would get Glorio. Characters like Pansy, Supreme Kai, even like Aranzu and Degasu, like they're not, I don't think they're big enough characters, even though they're important characters in the story for Daima. They don't strike me as being like Carnival LR level characters, right? But I mean, there's some options for things they could do. Like part 1, they could do like the mini Goma before he transforms, and maybe it's like Goma and Degasu, and then the part 2 is the full power Goma. But again, I don't necessarily think that would be super hype. I mean, what they could do is have mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and then like Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta in part 1, and then have adult Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Goma in part 2. But again, remember that the celebration doesn't have to be fully themed around Daima, right? We literally could have the part 1 banners be these 2 guys, and then the part 2 banners be something completely different, right? And not even related to Daima, who knows? Imagine if it was like GT and we got like a new Super Saiyan 4 Goku and then a new I guess I was going to say a new Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and a new Super Saiyan 3 Goku, so they were kind of swapped around but for GT. But obviously we just got a Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku for the anniversary, so that seems unlikely. I mean, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta does exist in Dokkan, but he's obviously not canon to GT, so I don't think it's very likely we would get like a Carnival LR GT Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, but either way, it could be very interesting, right? I think these two are the big headliners that everybody wants to see. Goma is the big villain of Daima, so it makes sense for him to get a character, even if he's not the most hyped choice. But I mean, he'll be on Demonic Power, he'll be on a ton of other categories. He has the potential to be a very good unit, which I think is more important than the character choice specifically, right? And then, yeah, I could easily see these guys being, even if they're either like a reversible exchange card, or they could be the banner units for the 2 banners. These guys would definitely be very interesting to have in the game as buffs for Martian Power, Artificial. Like, you think any category that Boo is on, Artificial Life Forms, Martian Power, like they should be on all of those. And you could argue that because they're directly made from the involvement with Aransu, they could probably get away with putting them on Demonic Power as well. Well, actually, all the Boos they're all on Demonic Power anyway, aren't they? So yeah, that would be very interesting, because you know, we've got a couple of characters coming up for EZAs this year, like the Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker and a bunch of the other Super Saiyan 4s. We definitely want to see Super Saiyan 4 Goku coming to Dokkan sooner rather than later. And of course, you know, we got the big anniversary Super Saiyan 3 Goku that we've already mentioned. Him leading the Giant 8 Power team, giving the buff to Power Beyond Super Saiyan characters, and then obviously when he transforms, Giant 8 Power as well. Like, that Super Saiyan 4 Goku is going to be big for a lot of these teams, because when we come to think about like the kind of categories that he would be on, right, you've got the I mean, we're assuming of course that they would still go with Giant 8 Power and not do some weird thing like with the Demon Realm stuff where it's like he's on Demonic Power instead of Giant 8 Power. I don't think that would make a lot of sense. I feel like he'd be on Giant 8 Power. Potentially wouldn't be on Uncontrollable Power. Miraculous Awakening, I could see it. Power of Wishes. Obviously, the adult versions of the characters are back to being adults because they've been wished back into being adults. So I could see them being on Power of Wishes. And then obviously, most of the others are just like normal Goku categories. And then of course you got to think about, we already know with the categories that Daima Goku himself, the one that we already have, is already on. At this point they've already found the Dragon Balls, so I don't know if Dragon Ball Seekers would be a category. We still don't really understand why this unit is on Time Travelers. Like, when this unit first came out, or even when the free-to-play ones came out, we all thought that this was like an advanced spoiler from Dokkan because the characters were on Time Travelers, and yet we've gotten all the way to the end of the story of Daima and there was no time travel. So I'm not really sure. I think some people were saying that something to do with the direct translation for the Time Travelers category can also mean the fact that they've traveled between like the different dimensions, but then that would also mean all the characters from like the Tournament of Power would be on Time Travelers. So it's a very weird thing, this being included. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I think Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, they seem like the kind of characters that if Dokkan were going to release them, I mean, they gave mini Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta essentially an anniversary spot, right, by having him be the EX Dokkan Fest for the anniversary. So I feel like if they're going to drop these guys, especially as LRs, which I think most people would probably prefer to see, it makes complete sense for it to be on a celebration the level of the global Dokkan campaign. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Like I say, a lot of people wanted to see Daima for Golden Week, and I know we're disappointed, but I feel like this could be one of the big reasons why Daima was not Golden Week, is because they are saving these big releases for the anniversary campaign, so, or the global Dokkan campaign, right, which is anniversary level. So let me know what you guys think down below. Would you like to see these guys dropping in a big celebration like that as the headliner LRs? Let me know all your thoughts, how you would structure the celebration. Would it be all Daima, Daima Part 1 mixed with Daima and something else, or like Daima Part 1 something else Part 2. Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.